Okay, so pag-usapan po natin yung situation ni Eman dito kasi kung sa mga, hindi pa nakakaalam, she took her own life and, ang nangyari dito, meron siya kasing diagnose siya with depression. And, etong Tony Talks kasi very, enlightening itong, interview na 'to. I suggest everyone should watch this para alam nyo kung ano yung, magiging estado niya. Now, ang point po ng video na 'to is to give you information about sa number one is how our brain functions. Kasi alam niyo naman na ako ay guro. So, yung mga ganitong bagay, talagang inaaral namin 'to. And I wanna share sa inyo kung ano yung mga number one, kung ano yung mga fundamental concepts na dapat niyong matutunan. And number two is yung mga current studies ngayon of how social media affects the brain. Kasi in this video, meron akong tatlong key points na nakita dito. Number one, si Eman ay may depression. Okay? So that is something na sinabi niya. So meaning to say, clinically diagnosed siya with depression. Number two, she is taking therapy. Kaso hindi consistent yung pagpunta niya sa therapist niya. Siguro, ayaw niya maging burden sa parents niya kasi she is a very independent-minded woman, ang problema, siguro hindi niya na tinuloy-tuloy. So, I would suggest that if you were clinically diagnosed with depression, please makinig po tayo sa mga ano natin, sa mga healthcare experts natin. Number three is that I believe that social media affected her so much. And it's not her fault. Okay, hindi niya kasalanan na naapektuhan siya sa social media. It's just that young people right now, and this would be the anchor of our topic today, is that they are so affected with social media. Okay, is in such a way that I would point out to this study na nakita ko, um, na yung literal na yung utak ng isang bata can be changed by social media. Physiologically changed ng social media. Okay, so but first, before we go to this study, I would like to first fundamentally tell you ano yung fundamental understanding natin of how the brain works. Okay? Kasi kailangan natin yan matutunan, especially in this time of social media. Okay? So, I would like to introduce you first to B.F. Skinner. Okay? Who is B.F. Skinner? Okay? Si B.F. Skinner ay ano siya, siya ang proponent nung tinatawag nating operant conditioning. Now, si B.F. Skinner, meron siyang experiment nung araw called the Skinner box. Okay? In the Skinner box, ang experiment setup nun is dalawa. Yung number 1 and number 2. Doon muna tayo sa number 1. Yung experiment na to is meron ditong mouse, okay? Itong mouse na to, meron ditong food pellet, may food pellet dito. And kada pipindutin nung mouse yung lever, lalabas yung food pellet. So this is the experiment number 2. Kada pindot may lalabas. Kada pindot may lalabas and makakakain yung mouse. And number 2, ganun uli yung setup kaso the food pellet appears randomly. Okay? It appears randomly and the mouse will eat randomly dito sa second setup ng experiment na to. It is found na yung brain chemistry ng mouse fundamentally changes when you switch it up to random. Okay? So, variable control response yata yung tawag nila dyan. But, point here is that pag mas random yung mas random or walang control yung mouse over the lever, pipindutin niya lang ng pipindutin yung lever na yon to the point that the brain chemistry of the mouse will change. Now, this is also found in humans that in such a way na pag random mo nakukuha ang isang bagay, it will fundamentally change your brain function. Okay? So, nakikita natin yan in most cases of addiction. Okay? So, pagka or yung addictive na behavior na de-develop sa ganyan. Okay? Now, why is this Skinner box important in this discussion natin sa social media? Kasi social media is our Skinner box. Itong mga cellphone natin is the Skinner box of our generation. Kasama din ako dun sa mga napindot dun sa lever na yon to get social media dopamine high. Okay? Kasi yun yung brain function na gumagana. Every time you doon sa mouse, kada pindot niya nung lever randomly nakakakuha siya ng anticipation dopamine high anticipation dopamine high kapag pinipindot niya yung lever and nag-anticipate siya na may lalabas. Ganun din sa social media. Lahat tayo nagko-comment or nagpo-post, and then when we receive engagement, iba yung mafe-feel natin. Minsan sumasaya tayo, minsan hindi tayo sumasaya. That is the point of this yun yung fundamental point nitong nitong study na to, mga lods. Kasi etong study na to is actually telling us na the children who grew up with social media, babasahin ko, the findings suggest that children who grew up checking social media more often are becoming hypersensitive to feedback from their peers. Okay? Hypersensitive to feedback with their peers. Meaning to say, whether it's negative or positive, mas mataas yung nararamdaman nila doon. Okay? So, mas exposed sila sa social media compared sa ating mga mas matatanda. Pero, miski tayo, aminin nyo man or hindi, may effect pa rin sa atin yung social media, especially if lagi tayong nandito. Diba? Ganun talaga eh. Yan yung realidad natin na kailangan nating tanggapin sa mga panahon na ngayon. Ngayon, balik tayo kay Eman since alam natin. Si Eman kasi is a Gen Z na exposed sa social media. Gets nyo? Since at a young age, nasa social media na siya. We can see that through the body of her of work na nasa TikTok niya. And ang problema, if you are to believe this study or if you use this argument to connect it to Eman, maalam nyo na she is affected by and sinabi niya rin dito na sobrang apektado siya doon sa mga sinasabi ng mga tao sa kanya. To the point na dinamdam niya talaga yung mga death threats, yung mga bad words sa kanya, yung mga shaming sa kanya. And she said it dito sa Tony Talks na to, 'di ba? So, ano yung point nitong discussion natin ngayon? Una, kung ikaw ay isang magulang or meron kang pamangkin na bata pa or meron kang kakilala na lang or may anak ka na bata pa, please i-monitor nyo yung galawan nila sa social media. Kasi etong si Eman, in fairness kay Kuya Kim, hindi naman nagkulang si Kuya Kim eh. Kung titingnan nyo. In this, etong video na to, sinabi niya na si Kuya Kim is always at stone's throw away lang. Ibig sabihin, kung kailangan niyang kausapin si Kuya Kim, sasagot agad si Kuya Kim. Isang text lang. Isang tawag lang. Number 2, si Kuya Kim, of course, I would assume na si Kuya Kim yung nagbabayad ng therapy niya. Di ba? So, it means to say that even with good parenting, with the best parenting, susceptible pa rin yung mga anak natin sa social media. Gets? Di ba? So, ang masakit pa rito, diagnosed pa siya ng clinical depression. Di ba? Kasi may sinabi dito na may depression siya So, considering all that, very protected si Eman sa social media. But still, the worst thing happened. Meaning to say, we have to kung at the very least kailangan intindihin natin yung epekto ng social media sa mga anak natin. Ito, she was given the best options for them. And kailangan din yung mga anak natin, kailangan nating sabihin sa kanila na sa social media, kailangan nating sabihin sa kanila na yung sinasabi ng tao ay sinasabi lang ng tao yan. Pero totoo lang, real talk miski ako, matagal na akong nagso-social media. Pag maganda yung comment sa'yo, matutuwa ka. Kapag pangit yung comment sa'yo, naiinis ka. There is always an effect na hindi natin pwedeng i-sweep under the rug. We have to acknowledge that in social media, there are yung worst ng tao talaga is lumalabas. Kasi wala namang accountability yung karamihan sa mga trolls eh. Kasi putya, gagawa ng random account tapos mumurahin ka. Ganon sa social media eh. So we have to protect our children extra dito. Kasi look at what happened to Eman. She was protected so much by her family. She was loved so much by her family. But because of the mean people sa internet na nagsasabi ng kung ano-anong hatred sa kanya, it affected her mentally. Gets nyo? This is a reality of our digital age right now that we should acknowledge. Okay? Tayong mga millennials, ano tayo, we don't care. Or at least if we care, slightly less than the younger individuals. Pero itong mga Gen Z, mga Gen Alpha, nalalaki sa digital age natin, they have to be protected. Okay. Take the lessons from Eman, okay? And please, yung legacy niya, sana maintindihan natin na a little bit of kindness goes a long way. Ibig sabihin, pag disagree ka sa tao, just disagree with them correctly. 'Di ba? Pwede naman tayo magkaroon ng healthy discussion eh. Pero wala pa tayo doon dito sa Pilipinas. That's why sana itong mga ganitong conversation open up yung kindness na yan. Kasi ang laki niyang bagay, yung empathy, Diyos ko po. Sa GMRC, tinuturo yan, pero walang nag-a-apply sa totoong buhay na nakakainis, di ba? So, sana ayun, yun lang yung gusto kong sabihin dito. Sana may natutunan kayo sa akin. Kung wala naman, okay lang naman na murahin niyo ako. Pero wag naman sana, 'di ba? Kasi pwede naman tayo magkaroon ng healthy discussion dito. Yun yung gusto natin. Tandaan nyo, freedom of speech protects clean speech, okay? Pero not hateful speech. Please let's stop the impunity. Yun lang naman po yung sa akin for today. Maraming salamat po sa pakikinig.